So hello guys, welcome back to the channel, and in today's session we are going to learn about variables and basic data type conversions. Okay, basic data type conversions. So what are the variables? They are just stored value with an assigned name so that you can use it whenever you want it. So how in Python, how do you define a variable? You can do it just by an is equal to sign. So just you write x is equal to 1. So this 1 is a value which is assigned to a name x. So whenever you write x, it will give you the value of x, which is 1. So if you have used any other programming languages, you have coded in any other programming languages, then you remember that you will have to specify a data type of that variable, like integer or float or string or character. You will have to define it, but in Python you don't have to do it. You can write x is equal to 1 or x is equal to 1.1 or x is equal to, let's say, hello, anything. So what it will do is it will go under certain if conditions, and it will know what this variable needs to be, what data type this variable needs to be. You don't have to specifically provide it, it will automatically do it. So whenever now x is equal to hello, okay, hello in a string format, now you write x is equal to 1.1, and then you see x will be now 1.1, so it will be overwritten. You can directly change it, no need to worry about that. So now x is equal to 1.1, now you write x plus 1, then it will give you 2.1. so direct operations you can do, it's very easy. But there are certain limits or certain rules that you will have to remember to name a variable. You can't name anything, like it has to be in alphanumerical format, which is like alphabet, that is letters, or numeric format. You can't use special character. If you write x at the rate is equal to 1, then it will throw an error, invalid syntax error. And yes, it has to start with letters only. You can't start it with start that with 1, like 1x is equal to 1, it's not allowed. Yeah, you can write x1 is equal to 1. Okay, so that's allowed. And yeah, underscores are also allowed. Other than that, nothing is allowed. So when you write when you try to print x underscore 1, it will give you the result 1. So that's very important thing to remember. The next thing will be how you can delete a variable. So you just type delete x1, so it will be deleted. Now when you type x1, it will throw an error, that is name error. The x1 is not defined because you haven't defined it. You have actually defined it, but then you deleted it. Now x2 is not defined, so when you write that, again the same error, x2 is not defined. Now you write x2 is equal to 1 and then x2. Okay. Next, in the last video we have seen how to use input commands, so you can directly use that with x also. Input, what is your age? Okay, so it will give you an answer. Let's type 1 only. So that value 1 is actually stored into the variable x. So this is how you can use input commands for your constant whenever your code is running and you want some data from user, you can use this input command and store that in a variable so that you can take it at a later point of time. Now let's come to data type conversions. So how you can convert them, because let's say you have defined x is equal to 1, but you want to print that the number is 1, but the value of x is equal to plus x. So it will throw an error. Why? Because x is actually an integer, but in print function you are writing string plus integer. So how to do it now? So you can directly write str So what it will do is it will convert the value of x into a string format. So x is equal to 1, but when you write str of x, that's in string of x, it's 1 in an inverted comma. So you know that something is in inverted, something is in quotation mark, single quotation or double quotation, it is a string. So let's assume a new variable y is equal to, in a single quotation mark, 1. So now y is what? A string, but you want to convert that in integer, so you just write integer of I. Oops, not I, y. So it's 1, so it's converted into integers. You can directly convert it into float as well. Okay, so it's 1.0. So let's do something else, like z is equal to 4. Now we want to convert that into float, so float of z, it's 4.0. So yeah, you can directly do it. Yes, but please keep in mind that you cannot convert an actual string that is in alphabet format. You can't convert that into integer, like SDS. Okay, so it will not be converted because it doesn't have base 10. It will throw an error. You cannot convert an alphabetical format into integer format. So that's it for the today's session. See you next time.